All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a live stream for you guys and gals. The Facebook is still loading. I don't know what is taking it so long. We may have to come back to it, but hopefully everything's flowing in here on the tubes. How are you guys doing? So I thought I would briefly cover kind of the Olympia thing. Thought I would briefly cover that, but it looks like I'm going to have to restart the Facebook. Give me a minute here, guys. The Facebook is acting all catawampus. It does not want to load. So let's try that one more time. And then I will be right back over to you lovely guys and gals, and we will get this conversation going. I hit it to load first, and I assumed it loaded, but it didn't. So let's try that again. And once that is loading, I will discuss the topic and entertain everyone's questions here today in the tubes. We got to get there. We go. The Facebook is finally loaded. We're good there. All right. So very briefly, I'm going to just cover the fact that you guys know I'm not a fan of pro bodybuilding. I don't like pro bodybuilding. I don't like the state of it today, including the classic bodybuilding. It looks nothing like classic bodybuilding. It still looks like bags of oil. They're just slightly taller and leaner with smaller waist than the open guys. But ultimately, the same guy looks like that Derek guy won again, who, if you guys recall, when he had won a couple of years ago, my friend Nicola and I, and Nicola has a phenomenal natty physique. He's been training 25 years straight to have that physique, and it's obviously great genetics. But, he doesn't like any of it either. He earned a natty pro card like 15 years ago. And he is actually a legit genetic freak at like a 24.7 fat free mass index, so we're up there, like freak genetics. And he kind of said the same thing. He's like, the guy's a bag of oil. The Derek, he's a bag of oil. So essentially all they did was just reward, oil and insulin use again, which is kind of what they do over and over and over. I'm not a fan, not going to be a fan. But I mean, that's the problem. Like the Derek guy has literally oil in his lats. I mean, that kind of sums up the state of pro bodybuilding, when you can see the oil inside the lats from the front lat spread 2 years ago, and they handed him a win. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. They love site enhancement. They reward it. Every guy up there uses tons of it. So, and again, same thing, the diabetes, all the other stuff. But I mean, keep that in mind. Look at all the damage even Flex Wheeler had, and that was a couple generations of bodybuilding back. Lost his kidneys and had dialysis, lost his leg. It's just, none of it looks good anymore. And I get it. People are like, well, we want a freak show. That's cool, but it doesn't mean that the rest of us have to like it. Those of us who are in the rest of the fitness world, we don't have to like it. And believe me, I'm critical of unhealthy stuff in powerlifting too. It's kind of weird. People will act like when I go in hard on the death cult with bodybuilding, that I'm not hard on powerlifting. I am hard on powerlifting. Okay. Am I not the first one to say, hey, a bunch of fat guys in multiply suits waddling around isn't fitness? And when you have powerlifters who choose to be morbidly obese, refuse to do cardio, are we supposed to call that fitness, especially if they're also on 5 grams a year? No, that's not fitness either. But bodybuilding is a tier worse, is absolutely a tier worse than the worst powerlifting, and powerlifting is pretty bad about it. So again, and that's my point, all of us who want to promote actual fitness, this is a problem. This is a problem. And not all powerlifters, though. I think that's the difference that we forget. There are powerlifters who are lean and fit with abs, who do cardio and conditioning. The thing is, they're in lighter weight classes, right? They're not in the 275 to 300 pound weight classes, but what do you expect? But even Nick Walker, he's going to have a short lifespan. That's way such a ridiculous excessive amount of drug abuse. It's not fitness. And that's the problem with it, is that All of us who discuss fitness, bodybuilding stuff gets thrown at us all the time. And it's like, why are we trying to mix pro bodybuilding with the fitness world? Tips to make 2 racks a week. I don't know what that means. Donald says, as a 6'2" male with above average genetics, you think if you get me to a 300 kilo deadlift? I don't know. Do I think I could? Donald, I really don't know. Have I gotten clients to 300 kilo deadlifts? Have you seen some of my guys pull 300 plus? Yes. So is it possible? Maybe. I'm not going to guarantee it though. His leg veins look terrible. Unmasked says up to 587 deadlift for 3 reps. That's solid. I'm going to go for 597 times 3 next week if I'm feeling good. Bro, that's good stuff. I mean, you've seen that thus far on the tubes in my 40s, my best ever pull was 635. So I understand how much work you've put in to be where you are right there, dude. Like, that's money. Like, if you get 597 for a triple, I mean, even the others, dude, you've got to respect that. You're repping 6 plates aside. How you doing, Gustav? So, that's good stuff. What's your age, height, and weight, by the way, unmasked? I'm curious with those numbers. I'm kind of curious where you're at in terms of stats and training years. So, opinion on high volume, low weight. How high a volume? Generally not. Do you not see the programming I promote and use and give to clients? Yeah, Donald, I'm not going to give you tips on how to do that. I don't know your business model. I don't know what you do for a living, so I can't give you any tips. All right? I don't know. I don't run that type of channel. Like, I don't give you guys financial advice. And I've kind of said, please don't ask me for economic or financial advice. I've made that relatively clear. I'm probably, I don't do that. Makes sense? Okay, age 23, you've been training for 8 years with 3 powerlifting, 3 with powerlifting, 6'3", 300 pounds trying to get to 290. I'm at 308. I'm a 308 lifter. So you're going to trim down just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's fine though. You still be able to deadlift. I mean, trim down a little leaner very rarely. It's going to impact the deadlift negatively. Hey, Coach, looking lean, appreciate it. No, Zena, that's too vague of a question. Like, way too vague. I generally don't promote high rep, high volume, lightweight only for anybody. Are you talking about secondary exercises? But you're a beginner. You need to get strong at your big barbell lifts first. Do you believe it's possible for someone to bench 405 naturally, and how impressive would you say that is? Okay. Future, do you see the problem with your question? Is it possible to become a billionaire? Is it possible to be 7 feet tall? There's your same answer. Right? Right? Coach, you should get a desk with adjustable armrests. That way you're sitting is bad for your back. Hey, Max, I don't care. Liam, I can bench 225 for 3 reps. Is that good for a beginning lifter? Sure, it's great for a beginning lifter. It's extremely rare for a beginning lifter. Why would I have a pecan pie recipe? Have you ever seen me cook anything like that? Yes. Well, yes, it's possible, but of course, I want to know because I don't see so many powerlifters benching in the 405. I'm like, no way, these guys can be natural. Well, future, you should probably quantify that with some more statements. I want you to think about the question. Notice what I just threw out to you. Is it possible to be 7 feet tall? Yes, there are people who are 7 feet tall. Is it possible to be a billionaire? This is the type of question you're asking. So maybe we should no, not previously a bodybuilder. My background's in strength sports. So future. So I'll answer your question. I have had a drug-free client, a natural client, hit a 400 bench. Now, you should ask me his height and weight, though. Now, are you asking me, can a 180-pound guy who's 5'7" feasibly bench 405 natural? I'm going to say pretty unlikely. About a snowball's chance in hell. About the same chance. The chances of that happening are about on par with someone making $100 million. Sure, it's hypothetically possible by someone somewhere in the world. Because I'm sure there's people who've made $100 million. So do you understand what we're saying? No, pound for pound benching is easier for manlets. He said drug-free though, Bart. You're not stacking you're going to be limited in the amount of muscle you can gain for a manlet. Okay, so absolutely. Just get those likes up, tell them. So future, so my drug-free guy who did it was 6'4" and weighed 265 pounds. Well, no, he can't bulk to over 200. He's going to lose the bench when he cuts back down. So how fat of a guy are you talking? So my natural lifter who's benched in the 400s was 6'4" at 265. All right. So talking about a 5'7" guy who bulks up to 280 with a gigantic, big old giant beer belly and giant man titties. Right. So you got to put some context to this. Zena, what would I do about a gym bully? All it takes is a cock and a pop and money for bail, as Ja Rule said. Next. I'll send a short fat guy. You people put up people bullying you. This is weird shit to me. I have no concept of this. Just stop. All right. All right, Donald, you're asking me, have I ever pooped my pants in public? Let's put this up to a vote. All right. Donald is now asking me if I pooped my pants in public. Does he stay or does he go? Kapow, or does he go? This is up for a vote. Ignore the forearm striations. Ignore them. We're voting. Stop staring. Okay. Alpha Omega calls for a kapow. Connor calls for a kapow. Dean calls for a kapow. Anybody else? Max gives a stay. Donald, you're asking me if I pooped my pants in public is a real question in the stream. A jury of your peers has found you guilty. I am the law. Oops, we had a little error there. Let's try that one more time. The law is being delayed just slightly. Kapow! Booyakasha! And you're out of here. Too late, EJ DeVas. You have been judged by a jury of your peers. Asking silly questions like, have I pooped my pants in public? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you people? All right. Did you just guillotine? Did I get the wrong guy? Did I hit the wrong person? No, I got Donald. It's annoying getting rid of Zima. I don't know what to tell you on that. Coach wields the band hammer. All right, 2 quick questions. NH literally dead? TFW bros who don't understand taking heavy sets from 2 times 3 reps to 2 times 5 is a 67% increase in volume. I mean, it is an increase in volume, isn't it? Right? But I think Lamidor got him. I think Ice got a hold of National Hypertrophy and they sent him back to his motherland of Algeria. He wasn't actually French, y'all. Come on. Coach, you think we need to look at woman hate in 2025? What is this kind of thing still exists, especially? I don't get that either, man. I don't understand why the red pill bros hate women. Right? I don't get, it's just, I don't know, man. Well, how can you love women, guys? Come on. Appreciate women. People, you even saying that will make them call you a simp now. And it's like, no, man. Maybe your father didn't love your mother enough, and that's why the way you are, homie. I don't know. Connor says, I know someone who competed in the men's physique Olympia, and he looked top 16, yet got overlooked. This political beauty pageant will destroy your health for zero benefit. I agree. Do you still coach clients who power lift or more physique focused? Yes, I coach both. AMC says effective reps, not the whole system being marked per se, but the concept is deeply undervalued compared to set count. Why is somebody, this better not be troll sending somebody. Probably is. Let me go investigate real quick. Okay, and we are back. So this was an attempted pizza delivery by haters. All right, so let's get back over to this stuff. What I'm going to do is just close the door so I can't hear it. I have a soundproofing. And that will resolve that. All right. So they're probably over here. Oh, they're all like jerking off to it. All right. You've been doing the rice bucket challenge reforms lately, Coach? No, dude. I've been doing all my lifting and pulling without straps. Right. Zima, I don't believe you because I gave you the solution already. So Zima, you're pretty much a troll. Right? We're going to count Zima as a troll, and here's why. She claims to be a girl. She brought this up 2 days ago, and I gave her the full solution to it. And she's come back complaining about the same thing now. No, you didn't. You didn't try it. So it's not a gym bully. That's you not moving people's stuff out of the way or going talking to gym management. No, you didn't. So let's see. Stop wearing straps. Exactly. Look, guys, this is from not using straps. Now, granted, I'm doing loaded carries this week. All right. Okay. So there's the forearms. But yeah, guys want forearms, and I don't have good forearm genetics. I had skinny forearms when I started. So that's just not lifting with straps for the most part. Lots and lots of heavy pulling. Now, granted, I pull some heavy weights. Context, you guys watched me deadlift 500 pounds for 6 reps yesterday. I'm sorry, the day before. Right? What's a good forearm workout? Lots of pulling without straps. Pull-ups, deadlifts, barbell rows with no straps. Now they'll probably get bigger because I'm doing loaded carries now too. I'm doing farmer's walks, so they'll probably get even bigger from there. Okay. So wearing straps can cause injury. I believe it does on deadlifts. It can. Well, Zima, so then don't worry about the form as much. Just keep building everything. All right, keep building everything. So if you had a 5'7" client who'd already benched 345 come to you with the goal of getting a huge bench press, how would you go about it? Obviously, they need to bulk. Do they need to necessarily bulk? So future, you can't ask me, an elite lifter, how to program an elite lifter in a live stream as a general rule. So the question is, how would I do it? I would very closely assess their current training, their current leverages, their current weak links, and I would write a program and coaching based around those things. So do you see why this isn't useful for the general public? So Zima, in that case, just keep training, keep showing up. People worry too much about smaller things instead of mastering the basics. Get good at the big basic exercises. Don't worry about, hey, should I do really, really high reps with lightweights? No, get strong at your basic lifts, right? Build a base. You can't chisel a pebble. Okay, so yeah, future. I don't know anything about what's going on to that. Any utility to axle bar squats? No, I can't really. Coach can't co-sign on that one. Straps on curls is just redunculous. What do you think about people who say that benching 225 makes you stronger than 90? They don't say 97, they say 99. Connor, you haven't been reading what they write. I read what they write. It's actually, they say 99% of the general population, like that's an achievement. Modern social media seems to reward, it rewards mediocrity and strength, that's for sure. Okay, they only reward physiques that require heavy drug use in Photoshop, right? So on social media, to look good, you have to use trend in Photoshop. But you can be weak as a kitten and they'll talk about your strength and mediocrity. It's a very strange thing, because why does anyone care that you're stronger than the average non-lifter? Well, who cares? Like, how is this relevant in any way? You better be stronger than the average non-lifter. I mean, damn. Man, I don't even know when the last time I had ice cream was. It's been a very long time. I'm not really doing much for Halloween, but again, that's personal life. I wouldn't tell you if I was. Yes, I obviously like movies or shows. Can we let me hear play guitar? I don't want to do the Les Paul because I got to stand up. The last time I had fast food, a couple of years, was probably Chick-fil-A. Hey, Zima, I don't discuss my personal life with you guys. I keep my personal life very, very, very private. For obvious reasons. You literally just saw trolls try to deliver a pizza to my front door. Do you think I really want to talk about my personal life? Should I tell you who all I'm dating? Do you want to know where we go? Maybe what times? It's not trolls, it's called stalkers. Liam, do you not know what the word stalker means? All right, next. I thought I put the word troll in the spam filter there. No, intoxicated, because I don't eat junk food. And they would probably want me to pay for it. Yeah. These people don't have money. So just an FYI. So, all right. Now, that being said, what do you mean, Bart? Then just don't eat junk food. It's not that. Building discipline just comes from consistency. That's it. Just stop eating junk food. Quit eating it. You won't crave it anymore eventually. pretty done. I don't know what I don't know what that is. Are you trying to get me to say a racial slur or something? It's going to be one of these tricks. Main Zune. I almost feel like we just need to vote you off. Asking me about eating ice cream. Asking me about weird stuff. I'll let you guys think about a vote on that one. I can eat clean. I struggle with booze, though. That's the tough thing. What's your BMI? I mean, I'm 209 pounds at 5'9". How you clean? Well, Bart, so what are you working on strategies to get sober? I mean, I'm very pro sobriety. I don't drink alcohol. I think alcohol is a poison of the body, the mind, and the soul. Right? No use for it. Eating clean is hard. Good for you, Jason. I don't think it's that hard. It's a kind of pants like puffy pants with the boots. I've never heard of this. The start is hard AF. Hey, Liam, you're promoting alcohol on my channel. You just said an occasional drink can't be too bad. Get the fuck off my channel. Next. Kapow. Don't you dare fucking promote alcohol on my channel ever the fuck again. Fuck you. Done. Next. See how easy that was? That's how I feel about alcohol. I don't allow it in my home. I don't allow it on my channel. He said, surely an occasional drink can't be too bad. No, get that shit out of here. No. Now, that's how I feel about alcohol. That is literally how I feel. I don't allow it in my home. I'm not going to allow it on my channel. Now, that being said, that's how I feel. It is literally... Zima, did you not hear what I just said? Get the fuck off my channel. See how easy that is? Done. That's how I feel about alcohol. And I just told you it is a poison of the body, mind, and the soul. I don't drink it. I don't allow it in my home. Get out of here. Okay. Now, when you decide you don't want to be addicted to this poison, you can come back, make a new account, we'll talk. Yep. Quick test for alcohol being a poison for the non-believers. It empties your wallet and kills you. It's not complicated. I mean, and the evidence of this is overwhelming. All right. Coach, I'm 20 years old. I know I will never take a drink of alcohol. My child is beautiful. Hey, man, I support that. It's fun, straight edge. It's funny how people love to defend alcohol. I'm militantly anti-alcohol at this point. And you guys have seen, I was already that way. And then this whole recent thing, which people know a little bit about, a drunk driver totaling my car. I have no use for it. I don't want to be around it. I don't want it in my life. If I were made God Emperor of mankind, I would pass the death penalty on all the manufacturers of it. Done. Now, I'm not God Emperor of mankind, but if I were, that's how it would work. So, Main June said, I haven't drank in 5 years. My friend rarely drinks, but does in social situations. I think it makes you weak. Of course, I agree. Right. Bodybuilding is healthy. Cutting that lean may not be, though. The thing is that the leanness they do get to for competition is not healthy. And even the best coaches, natural coaches, tell you that. They're like, it's actually not healthy. It is harmful to you to do it, but they want to win and they coach it. Alejandro says, advice for someone who wants to lose extreme excess fat while building muscle and strength. Well, you're fairly novice, as we got from before. Go into a calorie deficit, eat very, very, very high protein, and lift weights. You'll recall. Tyrone says, my ex-girlfriend always wanted to drink, so I basically forced to drink on the weekends with her. This is how some relationships are. Yeah, man, but that's not a healthy relationship. Yeah, that sounds abusive. I agree with Connor. You're in a relationship where she expects you to drink and you don't want to. This isn't healthy. No, I don't hate bodybuilding. I have a strong dislike, though, of current competitive bodybuilding. But the term bodybuilding, no, I think golden era, silver era bodybuilding was great. Right? Yeah, I've always liked women of an authority. I think it's a personality thing, maybe. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at it, Philippi. I'll investigate and find out later. See, I don't know if you're trolling, I need a ban, or you actually sent something nice. Oil and diabetes won the Mr. Olympia. Yep. Tyrone says, so basically, yeah, man, that's not going to work long term. She's not going to respect you as a man. I'm too old to know Barney the dinosaur, honestly, dude. Think in context of my age. Barney the dinosaur came later. All right. Okay. Those golden and silver era are a joke compared to today. We evolved training. No, we didn't evolve training. Drugs evolved. If you can identify a personality defect in yourself, you can deal with it. Getting to the end of one's time on the planet with regret of, oh yeah, I was born this way isn't how anyone should be. I agree. GHLP1s are allowing less use of insulin, and GH increases, less chance of diabetes. Coach. Are that how this is working? Competitive, or are you talking in a clinical setting, or are you talking about for bodybuilding, Chad? Competitive bodybuilding is too subjective, and the judging criteria is dumb. Yep. Well, who cares what Sam Sulek says and Nick Walker? These guys are going to be dead soon. I love Coach because loves me. We're a happy family. What you say, you don't drink too? No. I shouldn't be cussing and yelling at people for the drinking. It's just that's how I feel about alcohol these days, right? That is literally just how I feel about alcohol after so much stuff I've seen in my life. Like, I see it as just complete, absolute degeneracy. I don't want to see anybody promoting it. They can go promote it away from me. They can do it somewhere else. Coach is a grim reaper when it comes to bodybuilders. I've accurately predicted the deaths of quite a few people. He is right. Tyrone, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a turning point for you. I had some great OD watching chats. Jason, you looking leaner and Alex, I appreciate it, man. Bodybuilders using small doses of the newest GLP all year round to promote insulin sensitivity. Gotcha. No, I'm only double dipping. We're not triple dipping. We've only got, thank you for the comment there, Merritt, on Facebook. Opinions on Rich Piana. Could you be more specific? I'm trying. I don't want to talk bad about a dead guy, so can I leave that alone? I had a lot of personal dirt on Rich Piana I chose not to put out because he's dead. Like, people in his life, because they knew I was doing the drama type videos back then, talked to me. I had calls with them. They sent me things, information. I have a lot of dirt on him, but he's a dead guy. I'm not going to get up and smear a dead guy's name. No, Rich Piana never had any beef with me. So that's the problem. But you're asking my opinion on Rich, it's not very high. I mean, so let's go back to stuff I said while he was alive. Do you think a guy who screams the N-word over and over while beating the shit out of his girlfriend while it's being recorded? Okay. Ask you a question. Do you think a guy who is beating the holy shit out of his wife with her recording it while screaming the N-word over and over while he's whooping her ass and him in there yelling, he said the N-word 30 times. What do you think about somebody like that? Thank you. Appreciate the super chat. So what are your thoughts on someone who is confirmed and his wife released it? I'm just saying that's one of many things. So let's not talk about all the other. Let's talk about the stuff that was released while he was still alive. We can leave it at that. While he was beating his wife, literally beating her, and she had the phone recorded, and you could hear the hitting and the banging. She did go to the police, by the way, on that. While screaming the N-word. What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on somebody doing that? This isn't speculation. This was publicly released. The recording got released while he was still alive. This was his third wife. The first two accused him of spousal abuse before. Context, his first two wives accused him of domestic abuse. His third wife recorded him whooping her ass while calling her an N-lover over and over and over and over. N being the racial slur. While he was whooping her ass. Same guy who hit Jason Genova in public, slapped a mentally handicapped person. So, I don't know. What do you think about him? Didn't sound like somebody with some anger management issues. I remember he hit Genova. Yeah, he slapped Genova in public. On camera. No, I'm not interested. I'm not dealing with Genova. I had to block Genova's phone number. Yeah, I was angry about that. I was annoyed by Genova, but I don't want to take him under my wing. But I also didn't want to see somebody hit him. So, and that's kind of my point. But I'm not going to bring out the stuff I was sent after he died because that's going too far. All I'm going to say is that a couple of his ex-wives sent me stuff. I actually had a dossier at that point, and I had to think about, am I going to release this or am I going to let a dead man rest in peace? And I decided to let a dead man rest in peace. Yeah, unfair to speak ill of the dead. But in that case, the only thing we're discussing is what was publicly released while he was alive. And I covered it at the time, and he was free to defend himself at the time. Like he was still alive when I gave my take on all that. So that's still somewhat fair. Steroid plus toxic relationship plus recreational drug use is a disaster. Yeah, absolutely. No, they just wanted to have someone who would think about how to put the information out in public. They gave me the option to do it. Like, it's like, hey, here it is. You're someone who covers this stuff because I was still doing some current event stuff back then. And I made the choice not to do it. Amy passed away though, so she's dead. Had some funny chats with her. So that was his second wife. But yeah, no, I talked to Sarah and her boyfriend at the time. Yeah, Maine, and in light of some other stuff out there, that is really inappropriate. So let's not do that. Also, again, please, Maine. Fair enough. Feel like, you know what? I think it's great for your knees, right? Barefoot running is great for your knees. My knees don't hurt. Yeah. I mean, we have to be honest, coach. Great decision. He seemed abusive, you know. And I mean, that's kind of the thing. I mean, Tyrone, Tyrone, is this just a handle or you actually really, is your real name Tyrone? So, I mean, I'm going to assume if you're legitimately a black dude, hearing the dude scream the N word 30 times in a row had to make you feel a certain way. I'm not saying a little once off slip. I'm saying he said it over and over and over. Like, just, how about you, BLM? I mean, you're talking about Piana, who was recorded while screaming the N word over and over and over. It was like 30 times in anger. I mean, come on. Are most Texans racist? No, I don't think so. Not really. I don't know what bark on the day means. I was entertaining those Shiba cookies don't count. Right? Oh, God. Opinions on Charlie Kirk. I've already covered all this stuff with his death. So here's my thing. I didn't know as much about Charlie Kirk when he died as I do now. I don't agree with everything, obviously. I don't agree with everything Charlie did or everything he did. I do see him as a generally positive figure. He did more good than bad. But I mean, obviously, I don't fully agree with all of his positions, and that's okay. We don't have to agree with something. I can respect the way he went about his free speech and public debate. Even if I can so I'll give you a perfect example. I respect Noam Chomsky, the way that he engaged publicly with ideas and debate, even though I disagree with Noam Chomsky a lot. Does that make sense? I mean, many people think of Noam Chomsky as straight up communist. But I can appreciate the manner in which he went about debate in a public forum. And it could be the same with Charlie Kirk, right? That was technically a voice of freedom that was assassinated. I mean, that's what I mean. I understand you want to be nice, but come on. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, spousal abuse isn't funny, dudes, you know. And I agree. People should say what they want, but take some decency into consideration. You know, have some decency. Like, I wouldn't say that it should be illegal for someone to drop the N word. You know, that's not. It shouldn't be illegal. We shouldn't restrict that. But I mean, guys, you know what I mean? Let's just be realistic. Let's be realistic. Talk about having some decency, right? Take some decency into consideration. I'm a white dude. I probably shouldn't be running around saying the N word. Okay, is that fair? You know, this is probably, you know, a little uncalled for. It's not something I should be throwing around in conversations, you know, while I'm hanging out with my bros. You know, I mean, this is have some decency, guys. I think Large is just talking about the shoot and the cookies thing. Lars, they don't understand you're talking about his videos. Do I have a lot of black friends? No, I don't have a lot of black friends. I would say I have, as far as two, like as far as in my circles of friends right now, I have two. So that's not a lot. Like, no, I mean, I'm not hanging out with the brothers all day long. But I mean, I have a couple of black friends. So I have two in my various circles of bros. I have two. Well, Chris is internet, bro. He's not real life. Right. You guys have seen one of them post on my wall, like Dion posts on my wall. I know Dion in real life. Like Dion and I are cool. So he was the person who so when I was out doing that walk one day and someone honked at me, what's happened? Somebody honking at you. I got a text from him. He's like, dude, I'm rolling through your neighborhood. I just saw you walking through your street. I'm like, fuck. I didn't know he was in my neighborhood. So like I've known him for years. So that's an example, but I don't have like tons of them now. No, that was DC. I wasn't really friends with DC. That was one of my ex's friends. DC's got his set of problems. No, I don't want to be friends with DC, honestly. Yeah. But Chris Jones and I are online friends. We've had good conversations, but I don't know Chris in person. Like Chris and I've never hung out. We've never broke bread together. Does that make sense? So that's different. Like I've never sat down and had protein shake or a steak with Chris Jones. We've never barbecued, We've never hung out like that. So when we say friends, I'm assuming you mean like that. Dude, Bart, just, man, God damn it. Just get rid of that nonsense. Get off here, man. Kapow. All right. Everyone say what? No idea what you mean. What does breaking bread? You don't know what the term breaking bread means. That's insane that we're even considering supporting an abusive guy. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't need that nonsense in here, Bart. Just stop. But no, to answer your question, I wouldn't say that I have lots of them. I have a couple, and they're cool dudes. Tell them. Defiant Trio, we kapow. But yeah, I mean, and that's the problem. But the thing is, I'm not breaking out all this stuff that came out after he was dead. I'm just sticking with what was public as far as Piana goes. I think what Lars is trying to say, he's just thought he was entertaining. But, we do have to be aware the guy was, again, this was all public while he was alive with the ability to defend himself. He had literal court accusations of domestic abuse before all that. Right? The wife who recorded that took it to the police and filed assault charges. Okay, so people were over here saying, well, if she recorded all that, why didn't she go to the police? She did. He pressed charges. That's one reason he fled California. That's why he went to Florida. So, but the two previous ex-wives, the first two wives, made allegations of domestic violence. So that's 3 wives. 3 different wives filed something court or police related with accusations of domestic violence, and one of them recorded it. I mean, there's a point where you kind of have to go. It's one thing if it's just one accusation, maybe out of spite. You know what I mean, guys? One accusation out of spite, a lot of times, okay, she could have just been a spiteful. I mean, fair, that does happen. But 3, and with court involvement, like under oath, and then he hit a mentally handicapped guy on camera. Most people didn't, but it was a lot of it public. Have you ever? No, I've never been to Ireland. I've not visited Ireland. But that's the point. He was entertaining, but he's now dead. Right? It's not even a case of believe women. She recorded it, and people were like, well, you can't see him. You just hear the banging and her yelling and him screaming the N-word and the bangs over and over. Except that she went to the police and they took photographs. And that's what I didn't make public. I'm not releasing those photos. I got copies of the police pictures. She was black and blue, like broke nose, everything. Like he beat the holy shit out of her. Like, and I've seen it. So that's what I didn't want to release. Like broke nose, broke ribs, black eyes. Like he whooped her ass. Like it wasn't just a love tap or a single pop. Like it was, So again, this is a violent thug. A violent thug who who's a drug dealer. Everyone knew he was a drug dealer. We all knew this. It was known in the entire bodybuilding and lifting world. What did all you lifters out here, what did we know 10, 12 years ago? Rich Piana's gear was good shit. Did we all not know this? They didn't say it in YouTube videos, but guys, did we not all know that Rich Piana sold high quality anabolics? This was common knowledge. Everybody knew Rich Piana shit. Did we not? Don't tell me you're a real lifter if you didn't know this, that you knew and you were connected 10, 12 years ago, if you don't know that Rich Piana produced that good stuff. Yeah, Piana sold really good gear. Like everyone's like, dude, his stuff is like all properly dosed. It's clean. Right? We all knew that Piana's drugs were good stuff. Everybody knew. Like Piana's shit was good. He sold good steroids. Right? It's because Red was his chemist and Red was good at what he did. Everybody knew this. So you guys are going to talk about, oh, we're serious lifters and you don't know this? I'm going to call bullshit. Everybody knew this. How come I knew it? How come I had friends who bought his stuff and used his stuff, real life friends? Dude, it was down here in Texas. His stuff was all over Houston. Rich Piana's gear was all over Houston. And even sold Anabar in that voice note where he slept. Yeah, he was back there. That's right. He was cutting the deal right back there. You know, so this was, everybody knew this. Like, and Connor, you're right. If you were back there in the day, everybody knew. They're like, dude, Piana's gear is good stuff. Like, it's legit. No, he was independent. So his chemist was Red. So do you remember the whole the conversation about Red with Sarah? Red was his chemist, but Red died. Red died in the middle of all of that. So no, that was his guy who made all his stuff. Like, so they ran a boutique lab. But everybody knew. They're like, dude, Piana's stuff is clean. It's accurately dosed. You know, it was not junk bathtub gear. Here in the UK, it's really easy to access gear if it's legal. I don't know if the accessibility here is also as easy. So why do you guys think everyone talked about how nice Rich was? Man, we're going to go off into this tangent. Do you guys remember all the other lifters? He put out the death cycle. I predicted that death cycle would kill him, and he died 6 or 8 months later. He put out that full cycle. I covered it, Tyrone. I made $2,000 on that video, by the way, in ad revenue. So, yeah, he ran trend. But do you guys remember? So this is public. So this is going back to what everybody knew. This isn't even bad. This part's not bad mouthing. All right. Do you guys remember how everyone talked about what a nice guy Rich was? Why do you think all the lifters and important people talk about what a nice guy Rich was? Do you know why? What made him nice? Why was he nice? Anybody know why he was so nice? Why everyone thought he was so nice? Come on, guys. Think about it. Didn't just sell. He handed out samples. Oh, you just got over here to America from this other country with your pro card. Hey, man, here's a couple bottles as a free gift handshake. Here you go, brother. Try these out. Dude, he walked around with pockets of his own beer, gave out samples to important people who hadn't tried any of it. He said, hey, man, have a bottle or two on me. Try it out. Get back to me. You know how to reach me. This is a gift. That's why he was so nice. Why do you think bodybuilders love the rich so much? Dude walked around giving out samples of tested DECA. Try my stuff, guys. Here you go. Let me know how you like it. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, are you not going to like this person? He wasn't a stranger, Alan. That was Rich Piana. That was Rich Piana. How's that a stranger? So that's why everyone's like, oh, dude, he's super nice. Well, yeah, he's handing out the goods, man. That was actually him. He's coming around. No, that's a business deal. Yeah, but dude, Alan, you don't know bodybuilders. Alan, you clearly haven't been around many bodybuilders. I would trust you. You're not a serious bodybuilder. I don't think you understand the bodybuilder. The really hardcore bodybuilders. You remember when do you remember when Clint Darton used to do his series to how to tell if you're ate up? He called it, are you ate up as a lifter? He goes, if you're in the bathroom of the gym and you find a random pill and you pick it up and take it pre-workout, just a random pill in the locker room, you might be eat up. He used to remember those videos back in the day. Yeah. You clearly haven't been around the really hardcore lifting world. Oh shit, there's a random pill in the floor of the gym locker room. I'm about to work out. I hope it's Anadrol. Maybe it's Clen and they just eat it. So, that's gross. But do you understand when you're talking about really serious bodybuilders, this is what you're talking about? Connor says, yeah, I'm 17 got off a free D-bill all the time in the gym. Hardcore lifting world is crazy. You guys have not been in that scene. You have no clue then. You have no idea. So then when I talk about all your influencers are all on gear, you don't understand the culture. When you have an influencer who tells you, oh, I'm all around the serious lifting scene, I don't know anything about it, I wouldn't even know where to get it. They haven't been offered tons of it. Every dealer says, oh, this is somebody slightly known. They get offered gear. Hey, try my stuff. It's probably better than what you're using. Do you want a bottle? Do you not understand that world? Right? So my first stuff was in pharmaceutical amps, actually, Alan. But it was the same thing. I was walked into the hardcore lifting world. I was young. I didn't know better. The dudes were like, hey, we just saw you squat 405 for a double. What are you on? And the bros, they're calling me over. How this is, and older guys will understand this is how it went down. This is how it went down. That's solid, man. You're repping 405. You're not on anything yet. We're gonna help you out. Come on over. Pat on the shoulder. Come on over to the circle. Tony over here is going to go down to Mexico next week, and he's getting all of our stuff and coming back across the border from the pharmacies. Tony says, I know exactly what you need for a cycle. $200, I'll get everything you need, and I'll bring it back when I come back. He'll give me $200 in cash. We're going to help you out, son. And that's how it works. Well, I mean, I was in my 20s. But it was the dudes, the dudes in their 30s, the older, the powerlifting bros. Like, damn, man, you just doubled 405, man. That's solid. You're doing double of your body weight on a squat for a double, man. You need a little test and decking in your life. That is literally how it goes. And this was over 20 years ago. Okay, so again, when I say Piana walked around handing out samples, that's why all these bodybuilders liked him. He gave out free samples and he produced high-grade drugs. Now, at this age, I choose not to partake in gear. I choose to just do TRT replacement dose from my doctor. But I do come from that world. Does it matter what sort of protein powder size you use it all? Basically, no. I mean, quality varies. No, I don't regret it. It just is what it is. Like, you can't change the past. Just like I regret my alcohol way more, honestly. I regret the alcohol way more. Alice says bodybuilders are willing to sign up for cheaper fees. We're not surprised they don't care about gear quality. Yeah, I don't know if you were 19. No, I don't. No, I think even if someone chooses to go that route in life, I think 19 is too young. Right? If someone wants to make that personal decision, I think 19 is too young. That's too young to make that choice at all. Notice I'm not anti-gear because I make choices with it today. Doesn't mean I'm telling other people how to live their lives. But if you want my personal opinion, I think 19 is too young. 27 is not too young if it's an educated decision and you're making that choice for your personal reasons. And can you live with the there's the question I ask, I tell guys on that. Can you live with the consequences? Right? Don't roll the dice if you can't pay the price. And we all know what the number one price is. There's no guarantee you're back online. So that's what I tell guys who start. Are you prepared to go to your doctor and get a shot for the rest of your life? Are you willing to take that chance? Like, are you cool with being on TRT pretty much the rest of your life from here? If someone says, I'm okay with that, okay, you're willing to you're willing to pay the price. But if you say, I don't know about that, then absolutely not. You absolutely. So if your answer to that is no, or no, I don't think I'm cool with that, you need to stay natural. Full stop. Jason, love your videos talking about how Alpha Destiny thinks you have made. Right. It's just insane, isn't it? No, trend, if in your 40s, trend, absolutely not. No. I have rings somewhere tucked away. I don't use them. I have a pair of rings somewhere stuffed into my garage. Most people don't understand that psychologically, then you'll never be able to come off the body dysmorphia, the strength loss. All right. Tyrone says his coach is a lifetime veteran, have it in, start injecting. You know, man. Trend is generally not that harsh on the hairline, to be fair. Trend's harsh in a whole lot of other areas, though. My concern with trend is heart attack. Let's set aside nonsense like hair. Let's set aside hair. Let's talk about the real thing. Tren, because of the nature of it, is going to accelerate atherosclerosis, right? Okay, let's be clear. Tren absolutely will accelerate atherosclerosis, number one. Number two is extremely inflammatory concurrently. Okay? Was it the tren, or was it what you were stacking with the tren, the OW, and that accelerated it because of androgen receptor competition? How much tests were you running with the tren concurrently? Hair is the least of your worries on tren. What you need to be worried about is heavily increased inflammation in the body through inflammatory prostaglandins, the accumulation of atherosclerosis. How about we put those up at the top of the list? Then we deal with the mental side effects. You guys do know most of the negative stereotypes about steroids are due to tren in terms of mental effects. Okay? Right? You're aware that tren is known for, because of it being a superandrogen in your brain tissue, of causing slightly sociopathic personality tendencies. Tren turns down your empathy levels. It increases aggression and it reduces empathy. Okay. You guys remember Pete Rubish talking about that? He's like, dude, it ruins relationships. Like, ruins, like, so perfect example. Let's say you're not ready for training. You're in a happy relationship. You got a girl who's a really good girl. What happens if you got a girlfriend you really like and you're like, dude, she's a great girl. And you go get on tren. You know what I mean? She's going to deal with that personality shift. It brings out, amplifies certain negative traits. If they're there, tren amplifies them. If you're an asshole, tren makes you into a big asshole. Right? If you have a high sex drive, tren is going to turn you into a sex maniac. So on and so forth. Tren is a drug that you take if, when you're stuck in a traffic jam, you want to sit there screaming while punching the steering wheel. Right? So, just saying, think this stuff through. I'm very aware that tren makes you look really good. We all know tren causes dramatic physique enhancement really fast. It also fades really fast when you come off. What's the safest? Testosterone. DECA is pretty hair safe. Yeah, that's your go-to. There's risk of atherosclerosis. There's going to be different stuff happening, but DECA is definitely safer on the hairline and the prostate. If you're looking for the overall safest health, just run tests, guys. Just test. Keep your estrogen in range. There you go, guys. It's your solution. All right. And mainly think about it. Testosterone is what your body already produces testosterone. You're putting a hormone into your body that it already knows how to handle and utilize, but you're putting more of it in. Generally, the health outcomes are better, but you're going to deal with other side effects higher. Sex drive, things like that. Right? So just be aware of those things. I'm giving people educated information here. All right. It's trying to give, I'm not advising or telling people what to do, but they're asking, and I'm just giving you guys the skinny on it. Who invented trend? The rumors? The rumors were that the U.S. military invented trend. That was always the rumor. But then it was kicked over to the beef industry. All right. So I may go ahead and wind this one down, though, guys. I think we're good. This has been a good, productive live. All right, guys. So love you guys. Let me give you guys a Mount Bicephalus before we go. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. And we're out.